Yeah, we here, man. Top Flight TV. I'm here with Christ Kid. What's up, my man?
What's going on, brother? How you feeling?
Good, man. How you doing?
Um, Man, I'm honored that I'm here. You know, for my people to have a genuine interest in the things that I'm doing, it just reflects on the work that we're all putting in as a collective. So, one turn deserves another. So, I'm good.
My man. Glad to have you on the platform, man. Hey, tell us about your name, man. How'd you get the name Christ Kid?
Okay, because I'm I'm Christian for one, and Christ kids are in a crisis. So, what better name than Christ Kid to reflect what I stand for? And my Instagram is actually Christ Kid 28. And the reason why it's Christ Kid 28, like I explained about Christ Kid, but 28 is a very significant number in my life. So, my mom and my dad was born in 1952. My mom was born in February and my dad was born in April. I was born in 1980, which was 28 years from the day when they were born, and my birthday is March 28th. My son's birthday is June 28th. He was born 2008. My 13-year-old daughter, she was born October 8th, 2010. 10, 10, 8, another 28. My 9-year-old, she was born February, which is the second month. She was born 2015. 2 plus 5, 7, plus 1 is 8, another 28. My next daughter, she's 8. She was born March 28th. She was born on my birthday. My next daughter, she was born August 22nd, 2018, and my nephew was also born in 2015, but he was born August 22nd. I married my ex-wife when she was 28. I married her October 28th, which wasn't planned, and I was supposed to be getting off of probation this month on the 28th. So 2 plus 8 equals 10. 10 is not a number because the last number is 9. 10 is it reverting back to 1. So what 10 actually is a cipher. That's why it stops at 9, 0, back to the 1. So Christ Kid 28, Christ Kid, it goes around in a cycle. So yeah.
No, that's dope. So let me ask you, where'd you get your knowledge of the numbers and numerology from?
Um Basically just paying attention to the signs of life. My dad, he is 5%er. He's now returned to the essence since, but my dad was one of the first non-born. He was one of the first non-born students of, excuse me, of Clemson 13X, which started the Nation of Gods and Earth, which most know them as 5%ers. Clemson 13X left from Malcolm X's Temple number 7. He studied under Malcolm X, and I guess the brother wanted to give people knowledge of self because even though I'm Christian, religion is basically a form of control. It's a legion of thinking. It falls under herd mentality, but brother Clemson 13X wanted to give us knowledge of self. It's not a religion, it's a way of life. So, and also I know a little bit about gematria and things of that nature. So when you look at life, everything lines up if you pay attention.
So how tell me, man, how did you go from, well, first let me ask you, what was it like growing up in a household where your pops was a 5%er? What was that like? Did you get excluded from holidays, or what type of childhood did you have? Having a father that number one had knowledge of self, you understand, and lived that way, that lifestyle.
Um, if I am to be honest, like I knew my dad, but my dad wasn't really in my life because he spent a lot of time in the penal system and whatnot. But my dad never stopped my mom or my aunts from celebrating Christmas just because he didn't believe in it. You know, because that's kind of like snatching a child's childhood from them. So you allow somebody to live their life, you know, and it's just like when they say ignorance is bliss. That is a fact. But have you ever heard the flip side of that? No. All we heard ignorance is bliss. So if ignorance is bliss, then reality falls under depression. Because like you're not under the guise of, yeah, you know, life is this, life is what you make it. So I'm from the hood. I'm from Harlem, but I was raised in the Bronx, New York. I was really raised between back and forth. But if you didn't tell us that we were poor, we didn't know that we were poor. You know, because we kind of had everything that we wanted. But when you go and you see children actually have a mother and a father that they live with, and you go to your friend's house and they actually eat at the table and they discuss their day, and you know, and their parents ask them questions and they answer this. So these things were alien to me. So I was a very curious child. um I was always on the move. You know, like I was always going places. I was always into art, but you know, life goes based on who you ask, especially based on your level of intellect.
Got you. So was your mother Christian?
My mother was also an earth. Um, she was 5% as well, but so the situation with my mom and my dad, my mother and my father both got high. So um, life was a little bit different. You know, like I'm not gonna say good or bad, but it was an experience because, like I said, if you didn't tell us that we were poor, like we didn't know that because we always had toys, Christmas time. We always had clothes to go back to school in. Um, Even when my mother was going through stuff and like we didn't have food to eat, we had a community around us. We lived in a tenement buildings. Like we would stay at our friend's house, and I'm still friends with a lot of my friends from Shakespeare now. So you know, it was it was an experience. So
No doubt. So okay, so what is there any reason why you didn't go on to be a 5% of yourself? Or is there a reason why you became a Christian opposed to being a 5%er?
um, well, I practice being 5%. My government is Harmeen Bismi Allah Gillard, and my government actually means a great man in the name of God. So um, I I actually was 5%, and in '97 I became blood. So it wasn't really for me because yeah, yes. So it wasn't for me because I believe that we are gods because we were created in God's image. Now, as far as saying I'm God because I can make life and I get what you're saying, but that really doesn't resonate with me. No offense to anybody that it does, but I'm humble under God because I've had out of body experiences. I've had, I've actually died like 3 or 4 times. Um, I've had premonitions. I had a premonition when I was 7 years old. So, or maybe it was a lucid dream because I was asleep, but I was conscious of what was going on. And it was this mosaic colored arrow on a wall. And I seen this imagery when I was 21, when I was in Clinton Correctional Facility in New York. So it didn't it didn't make sense. And I'm like, yo, like I know I've seen this before. So my father's dead, so I can speak on this now. So my father actually killed a dude in Clinton before. So I guess my father's sins fell back on me. I seen a ghost when I was in Clinton. So it just Christianity made more sense to me because I actually experienced spirituality in reality. Like I really seen a spirit. I really seen a visualization like almost 15 years before I actually physically seen it. So like I believe occurrences in life, some are preordained. So I believe in stuff like that.
So you mentioned being gang affiliated at one point. Tell me about that, man. How did you join the gang? Were you in New York? You was in the Bronx?
No, actually, I became blood when I was in the 4 building on Rikers Island. I was 17, and you said what year? It was 1997. So when it occurred, I was 5% at the time, and so my homeboy Fox, God rest his soul to the homie, he brung me home. I was non-tray, and I never got my paperwork. So when I came home, my whole hood was Valentine. So I switched sets, and I became Valentine, and that's what I rocked out with 25 years.
Okay.
And also, I would like to add on to that. So when I came home, this was around the time when OG Mac came home. OG Mac is the individual that like made blood really like pop in New York. So you know, I actually learned gangbanging from him. So like we were young, we were impressionable, and we wanted to be a part of something, as are most people who feel like they don't have a father or mother and or both. So, that was kind of the appeal to me and also the camaraderie. So that's what kind of like made it like stick out to me.
How much time are you doing? You said Clinton?
Yes, at that time I did 5.5.
For what would you go? What you go in for?
Um, I had a string of drug charges. At that time, I was hustling in White Plains, New York. It was it was cool, you know. Like that's like my whole jacket for real. I have an attempt murder, but like aside from that, like my whole jacket is like drug charges.
Got you. You got a real good spirit, man. I would have never guessed. You know what I'm saying? I would have never guessed you had that type of background. When I met you, you had a very high energy, welcoming spirit. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Yeah, man. What was the craziest thing you seen while you was locked up?
Okay, I can tell you about an experience. So this was after I became blood. This is when I was up north. This was before I actually went to Clinton. I was in Attica. So when I was in Attica, I was in B block and I had to go to school. School was in A block. So it was a war going on with the Trinitarios and but when you're blood and you're beefing with a Spanish gang, you're actually beefing with all of them. So I got packed up one day and I got sent to A block. So when I got on the tier, so I'm walking down the company, whatever, and I was in like cell 4 or 5. Like I wasn't too far from the shower. So when I came on the company, whatever, somebody was like, Eastside, like, all the time. But the voice kind of trailed off, but it was ahead of me. So I'm like, all right, they trying to bake a nigga cake for real. So I got little ass scalpel, and nothing was moving. Like 2 of my homies had got hit bad. Papa Don got stabbed in his face. I believe he almost lost his eye. The other homie, Black Money Murder, like they almost murdered him. So y'all wasn't running a nothing. So when they changed shifts, I believe this was like second shift, whatever, they called yards. So I threw on my vest. I threw on a bunch of t-shirts. I wrapped some other books around my vest because I knew what was coming. I had my army jacket on, my hoodie and shit. My shit tied up. I'm suited and booted. So when you come out on a company, it's like a red boiler. So I come out. So I'm right in front of my cell. It's this short Mexican dude that's walking up the company. He got a picture. Then it's 3 Spanish niggas running down. 2 of them got a knife, 1 got a poker. So I got this little ass scalpel. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna hit this gate. I gotta get the fuck up out of here. So boom, the Mexican nigga walked by and he just spun and he splashed me. Psh. So when he hit me, my shit burned instantly. So I started taking all my shit off. I took my army jacket off, my hoodie, my vest, my t-shirts. So when I ripped my t-shirt, he hit me with 190-degree water, baby oil, and it had a little bit of powder, so it stick. You feel me? So, actually seeing my skin in my braids in my t-shirt. So I go to the hospital in Buffalo, whatever. They had me in involuntary PC. When once I came back, whatever, they gave me this fruit of the earth lotion. I had that, and I had the Palmer's cocoa butter, so I'm putting it on. Like, I'm going outside by myself because like 75-80% of my face was white meat. All this, and like here, all this shit. So boom, right? So my shit healed up. They let me start going out with the rest of the dudes that was down there in involuntary, whatever. Then I got shipped from Attica. I went to Clinton. So I went to Clinton, like, shit was just lit. Nigga, I'm shooting Crips. I'm shooting any nigga look at me crazy, I'm on you. Because I'm like, yo, like, bro, when my mother came to see me, I tried to wrap my face up like Dark Man next. My mother like, nah, take this shit off. I knew it was bad because my mother, she instantly started crying. You feel me? So I remember the first dude I stabbed when I got to Clinton. Yo, I jumped on a nigga back and I'm stabbing nigga with this plexiglass. This nigga almost ran from out of the yard with me on his back. I'm just hitting the nigga. Like, I had a chip on my shoulder, but at the end of the day, bro, like, taking accountability, like, the lifestyle that we a part of, like, I couldn't take out what happened to me on everybody else. Like, that's not that man's fault. And, like, it was like a slow process in growth, but, and when I left Clinton, I went to Southport. All right, Southport is, the whole jail is a box. It's a box, and then you got regular population. There's not a lot of dudes in population. They're the porters. They do the running, they be feeding us, whatever. So Southport actually put on veil what insanity really looks like. Dudes would be beefing, we all behind the gate. I seen dudes walk by, cuffed up. They, like, dudes was spitting shit on people, spitting pee on niggas, like niggas that had shit, nut, in their mouth. Pee, rotten milk, and, when you are stranded in anger, in rage, not to mention trauma, like, I didn't start, like, really doing my trauma work till I was about 31 or 32, but and you have a lot of big homies, like, they was in the box, like, they've been in the box like 4 or 5 years. It just really put at the forefront what a savage, enraged prison can make you, because when we're in that world, we get so deeply embedded in gossip and drama. Like, that's what prison is, for real. It's a popularity contest. It's insanity, and we rationalize these things based on the environment that we are now raised in. And it's almost, George Jackson said in Soul Dad Brothers, being here is kind of like the breaking of a canine dog, where you identify with the captors, the person that's walking you, and you become an enemy to people that look like you. So, like, it's the same as out here. We attack each other in the concrete jungles we raised in, and I don't know, like, I'm appreciative of what I went through, because had I not gone through that, I probably wouldn't take life as serious as I take it, because age doesn't have anything to do with maturity. Maturity is one of them things that one morning you just wake up and, like, you feel different, you think different. Like, you might look at things objectively, you might look at things subjectively, and life becomes more about who you hurt and how your actions cannot just affect your family, but it can also impact the lives of the family of somebody you might do something to, etc.
All right, boom. So you get out of prison. What was life like after prison? And are you still affiliated, or when did you drop your flag, or when did you stop living that type of lifestyle?
Actually, okay. First, I'm gonna speak on how life was when I got out of prison. So, when I got out, like my weight is usually like 130, 135, 140. I came out, I was like 170. Know what I'm saying? I was already working before I went in. So, it's like you come home, you got these pseudo stripes. Yeah, man, big homie on the side. Yeah, yo, the bro home. Blah, blah, blah. So you have this inflated ego of this ghetto superstar mentality. So when I got out, I came out here.
Okay.
Actually.
Hagerstown, Maryland?
Yep. So I'm gonna speed up. So I dropped my flag when I was in MCTC. So I was in prison and
Hold up. So you got to Maryland and you caught another charge?
yes.
All right, talk about it. Tell me
Another drug charge.
briefly, tell me about that charge. Another drug charge?
Yes.
Okay, so
Another drug charge.
what was the deciding factor in the coming to Hagerstown, Maryland from New York?
Just another out of town spot because like I was going out of town. Like
Okay. It was hustling.
like I've been making money for a while, So when I came out here, it was kind of like when I was in VA, when I was in Connecticut, when I was in PA, and it was the same because like it's like a little melting pot out here. Those places is almost like the same identical thing. So I'm gonna speak on what occurred when I dropped my flag. So so I wound up going to minimum. I was in MCTC, and from MCTC I went to the Hill. So I got in a couple altercations, and I wasn't scared, but I was. But I wasn't scared of anyone. It's just that I grew tired of like always fighting, and like that shit got old to me. And besides, like I just had a new baby before I came in, so now I got 5 kids, and so when I came to prison, I had a perk habit then. So I didn't even drop my flag then. So I came out, I went back in, came home again, then I got locked up again. So altogether, I given the system about 20 years altogether. So that time, I'm on the Hill. So I got into a situation with a dude, and like the dude swung on me and I weaved it. So it was me, my man Swole. So niggas try to make it seem like I like ducked wreck, or the nigga didn't hit me. So I'm like, man, I didn't fuck this shit. So I got into a situation with another homie, whatever. So the homie no, he was gonna go in my locker because I had one of his BBOs. It's a girl book. It's called Bad Bitches Only. So I had one of his books, and I'm like, yo, don't go in my locker. Like, give me a second. I was joined. So we talking shit back and forth. So he like, yo, say something else, and I'm gonna punch you in your face. So I'm like, all right, nigga, whatever. Yo, the nigga really calmed on my nigga. So I jumped down, I threw my boots on. He went in the bathroom, boom. So I'm going behind him. He make a left. I made a right. I got on the phone and I called my mother. And I'm talking to my mother. My mother like, baby, what's wrong? And like, I'm not thinking that you can hear my anger. You feel what I'm saying? So boom. So I had to call my man Hassan, whatever. So he like, yo, what's wrong? So I got off the phone. I went back to my bunk, whatever. I went outside, whatever. The homie's like, yo, what's up with you? Hey, yo, like, you getting soft or something? Like, nah, like, I ain't, like, it's not even like the shit hurt. It's just, I was just somewhere else in my life. So I got into a situation with my bunk buddy. So I went to the front. I'm like, man, move me, man. Hey, like, I don't want to be in a queue with this dude. They like, man, go. I'm like, man, I ain't going back. They like, pack your shit. I pack my shit. They sent me back to the compound. So I'm walking with the homies, whatever, from dinner. Yo, so niggas like, yo, no. Yo, you acting like yellow back. Yo, I already knew that I was about to check in. That weekend, I went to PC. And that shit hurt my pride. Yo, like, it hurt me, but it didn't hurt me as a man. It hurt me as who I thought I was. It hurt me as the image that I was projecting. So when I went to PC, niggas like, yo, you was a bitch, da, da, da. And this is coming from niggas that's already in PC. Some niggas in involuntary PC, some niggas is in actual protective custody, just like me. And I'm willing to accept all that. In my heart, the day I said fuck you to the street, I proved how much I love my family because I couldn't keep hurting them kids like that. My life is not about how you see me or how the viewer sees me. Nah, it's about how I see me and whether or not I'm able to live with the decisions that I make as not only a man, but a human. And if I'm not willing to put the needs of the babies that are dependent on me before me, who am I really? Am I really a man? Or am I just an image projecting an imagination? Imagination comes from image, because that's what an image is. An image is it's something you see, but that might not be what is really there. And you know, like for a while, that shit hurt my pride. And the same dudes that was calling me all types of bitches, and they sending me guys like, yo, I see why you did what you did. Like, I understand. Like, now I understand it. I sat in a cell and I asked myself, like, yo, what is life made up of? I mean, I know it's made of chromosomes and organisms. It's a cell. It's a nucleus of a cell. I chose to recreate myself in the cell that I was in. I chose to become who I was destined to become. So by me standing on my truth And by me actually being the definition of who and what I say I am, I never felt better about myself. So I would paint every cell I was in, top to bottom. I would blow my brains out in the cell. So art resonated with me more because I'm a person I'm a creator. You know, so when I was in prison, I would tell my wife at the time, like, yo, we'll come home, I'm gonna design clothes and I'm gonna be an artist and this what it is for me. So I guess they didn't think I was serious. I never had a job up until I came home when I was 42.
Hold on. I want to get to that. I want to get to the good part, get to the design. I got one more prison question and we can move forward. What was the difference between New York State Prison, if that's the correct term,
Yes.
and the Maryland Department of Corrections? What if there was a difference? Was there any difference? Was one tougher than the other, or what?
Okay, I would have to tilt the odds in the favor of New York because we have way more prisons than y'all have out here. So, it's not that it was tougher, it's certain jails are just known to go. Like Attica looks just like Castle Grayskull from He-Man. So, when you come in Attica, you come in the it's the 40-foot wall, you go on the wall, you go into prison. The receiving room is bright. It's like this kind of brightness. So when you get to the hallway, it's dark and desolate. You see people that you ain't seen in years. Yo, what up? Because you can't talk in the hallway. Talk in the hallway, them crack a tap. Like, go to the back of the line. When they go in, they're gonna not. You stand right here. It's gonna be like 8. Yo, they gonna be like this big. Big country ass white boys. So they tell you, with your right hand, take off your left shoe. You're nervous. So you're gonna do like this. They're gonna grab your hand. They're gonna grab your wrist. And that's the tactic of how they instill fear in you. So, the police in New York will kill you. Whereas though out here, they will fuck you up severely. But in New York, they'll kill you. You to never be seen or heard from again. Like, it gets that crazy out there. You feel me? But Maryland, like, the prison system is not sweet out here either. Like, I guess it depends on what facility you're you're in out here. But New York is just more. It's a lot more prisons.
All right, man. So you had that experience in the prison system. You called your wife. You told her you want to be a designer. You wanted to design clothes, or was it just clothes, or was it artistic paintings and things of that nature? Go ahead, pick up where you left off with the design.
Okay, so when I was in prison, I actually, excuse me, when I was in the county jail in Washington County, in Hagerstown rather, I came up with an idea for a brand, and the concept was art official. I thought it was clever because like you tell somebody like, yeah, The name of my brand is Art Official. And you know, people are going to be like, artificial? Because artificial means fake. No, it's not artificial. It's Art Official.
And that's the name of your brand today?
Because my art is
It's
official.
official, absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? And I'm an artist. So I figured with that name, I didn't just have to stick to clothes.
Okay.
Because it's basically umbrella. Art Official. Official art. Painting, drawing. We can design water bottles. You know, it's because everything is an art once you really get down to the crux of it, and everything is art based. This is why, okay, take this stand, for instance. There's sequences of you couldn't just make this. Blueprint? Damn. Okay, I have to measure it because if this goes this way, that goes that way, and it's a sequence. It's going to be a count. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So for the people who was telling me that art isn't a career, then I guess that they're not paying attention to the world we live in. Spell earth.
E-A-R-T-H.
Take art out of earth. What do you have left?
E-E-H.
What sound out E and H?
Yeah.
So earth without art is eh. So earth is an essence, and the essence of earth is art. Because if this wasn't built, it would not be here. It took an artist, which is an architect, to build this. And an architect is an artist. So, like the concept of that, because also I'm a poet. So I'm like, man, you know, I'm gonna really do this shit. And after that, I was just like, I was locked in.
Nice. So that's the pieces you got on right now. That's your line right there.
Yeah, yeah, some of it. No.
Talk to me about the dudes on that shirt. Who is that?
Oh, okay, so down here I have the Back to the Future car. And the reason I have the Back to the Future car is the reason I have Cristiano Ronaldo and I have Lionel Messi over here. And I have Jesse James and Billy the Kid. So the reason I have Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo is because my son plays soccer and my son is actually going to play for the international team for France next year. Like my son is gonna be pro at 17. And my little brother, his birthday, happy birthday, we're not on speaking terms because I did something to him. I was wrong. And he loves, like my little brother's, he's in the gunslinger, so I put that there. And I put a astronaut right there because I'm an explorer. You know, like exploring thought. I don't have a car, so like I'm always on the move. On the back, I have the Virgin Mary. I believe it says, y'all need Jesus, along with some other phrases on the back. Obvious reasons. But yeah, just art, it speaks to me. You know, like I'm heavily influenced by Back to the Future. Heavily. But when I was younger, I knew that I was gonna wind up designing clothes because when I would get some new clothes, the first thing I would do, go home and I would lay it out on a bed. Automatically see what I would do different. Cause I not hate, but I kind of despise regular jeans. So, yeah.
That's a bet. Tell the people they can find you and find your art.
Yeah, my Instagram is at Christ Kid, CHRISTKID 28, and that's my Instagram. My Facebook is Harmeen Gillard. I have about 4 of them. If you don't see anything recent, that's not one that you should be following. And I'm looking to get back on TikTok. I have a TikTok. Oh, it's on my other phone. But just hit my Instagram. Like, that's what I'm mostly on anyway. Do you mind if I spit a piece of poetry? Okay. This is called Artistic Energy. A frequency was sent to me in an art form called poetry, not in exactly words, but multiple mediums, and the result was a lore. It's all over the place and not specific. It's something that's mystic. Suppressed desires may wish it. Keeping your eyes pierced will force you to miss it. It will guide you to write in the dark. Your hand just narrates on paper what you feel in your heart. Emotion spoken for many. If it resonates with one, then that's plenty. The fact is, the earth never spins backwards on its axis. A blue marble where love absorbs you, synergizes northern lights, bouncing off a satellite, vibrating through speakers, shaking the ground under your sneakers, contracting through the earth into the next baby's birth. See God in their features? This innate ability becomes clay for a teacher. I am art. I'm the pinnacle of the start, the architect that's forever elusive. The gift to those of my choosing, how my ego so easily bruises. I am the weapon the whole world uses. I am the weapon that's truthful. Watch me make love to these lines. My children are the excitement that continues to rhyme. The energy is ethereal, simply put, sublime. Poem.
My man.